Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Capricorn July 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, well, Mars will be in Aries, so the fourth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So there may be some contentious, even acrimonious situations with family members, people you feel close to home with. It could be the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. Sometimes this may even manifest in physical confrontations. Remember, we are talking about Mars being in its dignity in Aries. Aries, I think, is unequivocally the most volatile of the zodiac signs. But anyway, on a positive note, uh, this could also manifest in putting a lot of energy and vitality into Aries, like things in the home. It could be like welding, or maybe doing something which requires strong mechanical skill and ability. This could also be about taking a lot of assertive and aggressive action and getting yourself prepared for that latter part of life if you are not already there. Or and also too, keep in mind that this could be more of a tendency or propensity for accidents in the home at this time. There'll also be a lot of energy and vitality into Aries, like traditions. It could be going to some combat sport like wrestling or boxing or judo, something that could be Aries related. It could be going to maybe some fireworks display, or maybe even it could be something that's connected, like with welding, anything that could be Aries related. Um, Maybe a firefighting expo. Well, I'm being flippant when I'm saying that. But anyway, the next thing up. Well, Jupiter will be in Capricorn still, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be, remember that Jupiter is that planet of expansion. In some cases, it could expand the waistline to some degree. There could be more of a propensity to gain weight when you're having transit like this. And also, too, on a positive end, though, this could be very fortuitous and beneficial for new Capricorn. Like beginnings. It could be something like with accounting or dentistry, business, politics, something connected with the government, even information technology. Now, it might also enlarge your energy and vitality. You might come across as more exuberant, enthusiastic. But remember that this is Capricorn energy, so it'll be disciplined to some degree. That could manifest in very cautious optimism. Remember, you're going to have the Saturn transit going on as well, and Saturn, I believe, may be conjuncting Jupiter. It said during at least for part. If it's not, if it's conjuncting it, then you're going to have. Then it could really manifest, maybe it might really emphasize more, maybe even losing weight during this transit, because remember, Jupiter is about enlargement and Saturn is about restriction, where you might have some and if you have, just whether they're conjunct or not during the transit, the thing is you might have some fluctuation with losing and gaining weight perhaps. But going back to the Jupiter and Capricorn transit, this could be also too, it could manifest in some cases in the enlargement of Capricorn, like physical issues. It could be something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings. But it could also be a period where you're more jocular, more religious, more so than usual. And maybe things that are published consistently might impact your outlook more so than usual, or even matters with religion, so might do so as well. Anyway. Well, next thing up, now going to Saturn. Saturn will be in Capricorn for practically the entire month. So again, the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, so let's talk about before. Jupiter can emphasize, the first house can emphasize gaining weight, but you're talking about Saturn as well. That could actually be a proclivity to lose weight during this time. And you might have some, one way it might manifest and pan out, you might have some fluctuation of this energy during this time, since we're talking about Saturn and Jupiter. And it also could be where the way it might pan out, you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated. It could be a grandmother or someone you knew from your early childhood. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, and maybe making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. It could also be about taking responsibility for Capricorn physical issues of your own. Again, it could be the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, and maybe even it could be where older people might be factoring in or figuring more prominently in your outlook at this time, and maybe making first in terms of making first impressions on others. Could also be where you might be feeling a little bit despondent regarding maybe an older appearance, that maybe you feel you appear a little bit older than you actually do. And you might even, I mean, Saturn again could be about fears, and it could be about fearing yourself, maybe to some degree for whatever reasons. But anyway, well, next thing up. Well, Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So you might be dealing with rather unusual or unorthodox, even eccentric behavior from lovers, from children. They may be more unpredictable at this time than usual. Maybe these people are even expressing genius-like qualities, but also financial fluctuations may be tied into some kind of investment you may have, or it may factor into your fun, amusement, your enjoyment at this time. This could also manifest in Uranus like hobbies at this time. It could be doing things with astrology or astronomy, aerospace, electronics, computers, anything that could be Uranus related at this time. It could also be about taking, maybe desiring more freedom and independence in matters with lovers and children at this time. And also, too, you might be dealing with more it might be where your personal popularity may be going through some fluctuation, may be very erratic and sporadic at this time, more so than usual. And also at this time as well, this could be a time too where you might be dealing with very friendships. I mean, Uranus could be connected with friendships. Taurus can be very stable, persistent, steadfast ones, or they can actually be, in some cases, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody those characteristics, might factor in more strongly with your investments, your personal popularity, your creative endeavors, your fun, your amusement, your enjoyment, and whether they're more beneficial or more to your detriment. A lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A positive, say a sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter, they may be more auspicious in those matters, but say an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it might go the other way, it might be causing some restriction, sorrow, some disappointment in those areas. Next thing up, Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the third house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now this can manifest in a number of ways. You might find yourself where the connection with siblings, cousins, neighbors may be dissipating or dissolving, and sadly in some isolated cases this could be about also the dissolving or dissipation of rational thinking. But a lot of this again could be predicated and dependent on aspects to your points in your chart. If this is making an adverse aspect to your natal, say it's your natal Mercury, that could increase that propensity for that perhaps. But also too, you might find yourself taking a lot of convoluted short journeys, like we're going around in circles, like one of those suburban areas that have those real convoluted, confusing streets, and they all seem to be circling around. Like I think in Boston, in Massachusetts, I think they have streets like that. But anyway, could also be a time too where you might be going through some memory issues at this time as well, and also you might be dealing with more deceptive and duplicitous siblings, cousins, neighbors. You might find at this time as well, you might be dealing with some nebulous issues with your vehicles, or some even chemical issues, whether it's gas leaks or what have you, with your car more so than usual. Could also be at this time as well, you might show a lot of self-sacrificing energy in matters with local transportation. You may also be dealing At this time, another way this may manifest and pan out, this could be about Neptune, like communications. It could be through writings. It could be like through poetry, writing about chemistry, photography. Um, it could be about writing about illusion, about the metaphysical, which includes astrology, spirituality, anything, anesthesiology, anything that is Neptune related. Could be fantastical, fictional writing. Hold on a moment, people. Last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. Some cases this could be about the actual or literal death of someone from your early childhood. It could be somebody, it could be a grandmother in some cases. If some cases this could be about surgery, something Capricorn related. It could be like some knee replacement or something with the hamstrings, the bones, the joints. You might come across as more imposing on a first impression, more so than usual. Uh, at the same time, on a positive note, this could manifest in Plutonian with new beginnings. It could be starting something connected, like with astrology, like the occult, supernatural. Occult can include astrology. It could be something like with surgery or investigation, recycling, anything with transformation, such as rebuilding vehicles at this time. Now, in some cases too, if you're going through a crisis or maybe a death of somebody, this could be something that could actually really impact your outlook more so than usual. And also, this could be about the transformation of the physical body. It could be through like working out vigorously, and being Capricorn, maybe something that's very regimented and consistent. So, anyway, and also you might come across as being a little bit more secretive, more so, more mysterious, more so than usual at this time. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.